it. I love it. Hey, I bet you never seen StreamYard do this before, have you? Anyway, I'm always in the studio. It's what I do. I like to have fun. Anyway, hey, I'm Danland Pro, and we got a website coming for you here real shortly where you're going to see more of this, more in studio action, more movement, more upper body, whole body screening, etc., etc. I like to talk about different things that I can share with people, whether it's home improvement, whether it's content creation, graphic design, etc., etc. You know my story. Anyway, you see me do a lot of things with because I'm in so many things. Right now I'm studying something else that I'm going to bring to you on a new website. We're going to have a blog as far as that goes, and we'll be doing a lot with that. So that's coming down the pipe, so the website will be ready here shortly. Meanwhile, you constantly see me working with things, so you see me improve as I continue to green screen until we can get it to the clarity that we're trying to get it to, so we can present it to you and show you how to really use it as a tool. So that's pretty much what it's all about. Now, you got a lot of people, I like to stay at home a lot because that's where I set some things up. Then I go out, then I do different things in different places, depending on what it is I'm trying to do. So if I'm trying to do something health-wise, you might see me riding a bike, roller skating, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, depending on how I'm feeling. Then you might see me do home improvement. Then you might see me do something educational. Then you might see me do something just totally silly, totally to the left or totally to the right. But that's what life is all about. You look at one of the graphics that I posted today, it's about following narcissists. So a lot of times you spend your life following people that you don't realize have what they call personality disorders. And we all have a degree of them to a certain extent. For some people, they are disorders to the point that they don't even know the detriment that it is to the people that's following them. And you don't realize it until you start waking up. That's why I always say, I ain't trying to wake you up. I'm trying to make sure people don't put me back to sleep. Because liberation is not a revolutionary thing as far as some of the ways that we heard that word used over the years. Liberation is clearing your mind to the point that you understand that if you don't believe in your vision, or you believe in somebody else's vision more than you believe in your vision, you already got some kind of disorder going on, as far as I'm concerned. And I spent some time in my life doing that, and I'm sure other people share that experience. But the bottom line is that, as you always hear me talk about my ruthless mentor, at the time that a lot of things was being taught or said, I wasn't getting it, but things kick in later, whether it's from your ruthless mentor, whether it's from your parent or somebody that you respected or looked up to. Something that they said finally resonated with you to the point that it came to light or it came to surface at a time when you most needed it. And that's what probably was a crossover or awakening that allowed you to liberate your mind or liberate your vision to the point that you believe in what it is that you do. So if a person like chess and you like checkers, that's not a problem. That don't mean you hate people who like chess or checkers. That means that y'all have different interests, different things to excite you. The thing is that sometimes you can collaborate, sometimes you can cooperate, you can work together. You may do things together that can produce something else or a hybrid of the two. That's how people come up with new ideas. Now, I am not one that's going to fuse chess and checkers together, but I'm sure at some point, whether it's any type of game or creation or innovation, people fuse things together and they come with new ideas. I just call them hybrids, which is usually something that happens with genealogy. But anyway, when you fuse two things together, so when I take, whether it's religion, whether it's social dance or anything, even home improvement, you can fuse a tool together to make something else happen that you may be trying to repair or invent something for that matter. It's all about taking something and fusing it or looking at it from a positive light. So you don't have to see it in a negative light. And sometimes that's how we see people. We see people that if they don't have the same interests that we have, that they more or less an enemy or adversary or something to that matter, when that's not true. That's just what those people are interested in, what you are interested in. And that is the thing about a liberated mind, is that you come to understand that if you focus on what it is that you like, what your visions are, then all of that other stuff won't matter, and you'll find that your life will change. So anyway, I'm Danland Pro. I'm gonna always share with you what I'm experiencing, because sometimes it's helpful, because I know that the people that I share a lot of interest with, especially in the arts, I find that in the arts, whether it's reading a book whether it's plays, whether it's theater, whether it's a movie, whether it's graphics, whether it's streaming, live streaming. All of these things allow you to meet people that share the same interests. And it's no different than if you go to your religious ceremonies. You pretty much are around people that share the same interests, share the same doctrine. When you go into the social dance community, it's the same thing. You're around people who share that particular environment, so y'all pretty much have a commonality as far as what's going on. Now, you may have some disagreements as far as what type of music and some of the more minor things, but the main core of that interest of all the people that may be in that room or that environment is pretty much the same. So whether it's social dance, religion, education, the arts, graphics, live streaming, I'm finding that you meet some interesting people. And when you open up to people to the point that y'all can assist each other, you'll find that your life does change. So it's not all about compensation, even though compensation plays a role, because you'll find that when you network with people, then you find things in that particular environment or that particular genre to where people can help you as you can help them. And that's really what it's all about. That's really what the bartering system was built upon. I got something you need, you got something I need, we barter. But now with compensation involved, it's the same thing. So you just meet interesting people, but you can't meet nobody all closed up, all charged up. And I already know, as I've shared through my own personal experiences, you're not gonna get none when you follow a narcissist, because a narcissist never wants you to be above or equal to them. As long as you stay beneath them or you stay behind them, that process or that particular function is going to continue to roll that way. That machine or that system operates on that principle. But when you're on the principle of understanding how people pull up people or network in order to improve each other's status, then you'll see that all the people or both people can grow from that experience. So I'm not into following narcissists. And that's what I mean when I say I'm not trying to wake you up. You can follow whoever you want to follow. I'm trying to make sure you don't put me back to sleep, because it's just so many things that I've experienced on that page as well. So as you can see, we're pretty much getting this really together, because sometimes what happens is when you move, a lot of times when you're trying to screen, you got to have your lights right, you got to have your camera right, et cetera, et cetera. And we still got some tweaking to do before we launch this website. But as you can see, we're pretty much getting it where I want it. As far as movement, I'm pretty much getting it where I want it, because my whole thing is to do this full body things, because it's pretty good when you're doing green screening and you're just doing a talking head, which is what a lot of us do. It's pretty good when you're just doing something where you're pretty much standing still. But when you're trying to move, or you're trying to dance, or you're trying to run, or you're trying to do things that allow you to do more creative things, then you have to have your screen right. So as we all know, you use green screen for video, you use blue for photography, and we'll be going over those things in the future. But a lot of things now, instead of really just using our channels, our YouTube channels and Facebook and social media, as you see, we're starting to have some complications on these platforms. Excuse me. As far as what we get to say, we're starting to have some complications. So what we want to do is have a website where we can ensure that the good content that we put up is not threatened by some of the rules and guidelines that's pretty much threatening to a lot of people, even their opinions now. So in the future, hey, look forward to it. Dan Land Productions will be that website. So until next time, hey, I'm going to sign off. It's always a pleasure. Hey, I put some silly videos up today. I hope you like them. I was feeling really good and really energized this morning. So, sometimes I have a role, especially when I have a day when I'm not really, really busy and I'm not really, really rolling or running around a lot. So until next time, hey, I'm Dan Land Pro. You can find me at youtube.com, Dan Land Pro, Webmaster Dan, or The Dan Land Show. Peace.